This is Tony DeThomasis. Welcome to my Solution Manager 7.1 functionality sessions. So what I want to show you today is how to create a technical bill of materials which can be used to drive the business process change analysis. So the reason we do the TBOMs is to facilitate a change analysis to tell us, based on what we need to test, should something change. So the TBOM creates a list of modules which are being touched by the transaction. So the first thing we do is we go into implementation and upgrade on the Solution Manager work centers. And if we have a look at the projects, we'll pick up one of the projects that I've already been working on. If we go to the business blueprint, this will fire up another session with Solar 01. And then from Solar 01, if I go into, so we're in display mode, so we'll go into change mode. I'll show you a TBOM I've already created, and then we'll get in and we'll create a new one. So for this particular transaction, this is a logical component which I'm going to use, right? So we've already defined all these things. So I'm not going to show you how to define those. They're subject of another YouTube video. So presuming you've already done all the definition of the blueprint properly, you hit the attribute button. And this links you to a number of attributes to help you generate the technical bill of materials. So here we have a green light, so I've created a TBOM. I can re-record and create a new one. So if I show you the content of the TBOM, this gives me a list of all the modules which have been touched by this particular transaction. So remember, if I flick back, the transaction in question, if I kill this, the transaction in question is CJ9B. When we created the TBOM, this is what we got out of it. So there's 3380 objects. So if I expand the whole lot, we get a list of all the logical components. So in this particular package, there are 10% of the total, so there's 338. And if I click on those, you can have a look at what the contents are of that particular package. If you wanted to have a look at how many code objects, how many user interfaces, table contents, so the SE16 tables, DDIC objects, business transactions, and if you want to have a look at, just for interest's sake, the baddies out of the enhancement objects, so here you can have a look at any of the enhancements which are part of the technical bill of materials. Once you get down to here, you can show the table keys, if there are any available. So I guess the table keys makes more sense with this guy. Alright, so this is table contents. These are the particular tables, and if I grab that, the keys will be displayed down the bottom. So if there's any keys available, it'll show the keys down here. Alright, so that's an overview of what's in the TBOM. Alright, so now to generate a TBOM, we'll get rid of this guy. Okay, so from here we select the CJ9F, and we go into the attributes. This time we do the TBOM, and if I was in change mode, this would work. So put this in change mode, do the attributes, do the TBOM, you create it. It will fire up a link to your satellite or your managed system. So once you tick yes, it'll just actually run the transaction in your, if you have a look, it'll run the transaction in the satellite system. So once it fires this up, I can show you the transaction, the system it's in. So it's in the system. So you put in your variants and you run your transaction as per normal. So you run every single permutation and combination of the transaction. And then once you've done that, and then you get through it, and run it. And once you back out of it, it'll say, right, it's finished recording the TBOM. So now if you generate it, it'll actually go away and build it. So you can see it here, grabbing all the objects from the technical bill of materials and laying it out. So it'll take some time depending on the transaction. So now it's created a TBOM. So you got the green light, so you got this this TBOM. So you can re-record it if you're not happy with it. You can have static or dynamic ones. And now if you wanted to have a look at the content, with that small run, we've picked up around 1833 objects, and same deal. We expand this, and you can get through and have a look at the same packages the same way I did before. Right, so this is the basics for the business process change analyzer. If you wanted to find out more about some of the stuff that I've shown you, there is this URL, so service.sap.com/testing, presentations and demonstrations. So this will tell you pretty much what I've shown today. So this has been Tony DeThomasis. Thanks for listening.